terminated for speaking up at my previous employer's job. I have the worst lighting ever. God damn, where's my eyeliner? Full disclaimer, I'm not good at makeup at all. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I just wing it, you know? Like, hair look like shit. Eyes look like shit. I look like shit. That's some good water. Back to the point, okay? So, as my title suggests, I was terminated from my previous employer for speaking out. I'm pretty sure that's the main reason I was terminated because, you know, people have done much worse. Like fighting, threatening, which I'm pretty sure, I'll get into it later, but I'm pretty sure what I did falls into that category. But yeah, I'll just start from the beginning so that you can be the judge of their decision to terminate me. I want to hear your feedback, okay? So, part one. So, this company, who I won't call out by name, even though they deserve it, when I first applied there, it was around April, I believe, April 9th. It was April 2023. God help me. When I first arrived there, you know, everything was pretty normal. It was, you know, a factory warehouse setting, which I am extremely used to, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not, because I probably overlook a lot of things that are wrong, and I just fucking deal with it because I can. But as time went on, I started recognizing the typical toxic corporate world that we all recognize today. But it hadn't gotten bad to that point, so I just dealt with it. But you know, you start recognizing certain patterns, you know, and I'm all too familiar with them. And I never once spoke out. Not once. And y'all know how you accidentally become important at work? Not in the sense of, oh, you can do the manager role and the supervisor role, whatever. They never gave me those fucking opportunities. Go figure. But when it came to physically demanding work, then yeah, I was someone that they could rely on. And oh my God. And, you know, unsurprisingly, all the work got piled on top of me. Everyone else's work, including my own, because I was reliable. But all that really means is that I was really compliant. I didn't complain. I just dealt with it. And companies always love to instill this. They always want to put that logic in your head. Like, oh, if you work hard, don't complain. Just do what you're supposed to. Go above and beyond. You'll be rewarded. Well, guess what I got? Nothing. You know what I got? Couple years of watching everyone get promoted except me. Of course, you would have to be promoted, I think, about 2 times without pay, but more responsibilities before you got a pay increase. I think. I don't know the details and I don't care. I just went there, did my job, and clocked the fuck out, okay? But yeah, God, where did things start going downhill? Around Prime Week. Okay, you know what? I didn't mean to say that. Cut. Y'all probably already know now, so I'm not even gonna hold back. But yeah, what first triggered me is, like I said, they were getting a little too comfortable piling work responsibilities on me, and they would never hold these other lazy co-workers accountable, you know. Let's not say anything to the actual lazy people. Let's just appoint someone who has an excellent work ethic to take on their role and their jobs, and expect them to not say anything about it. They just expect you to deal with it. Don't complain. If you are, then they blow a fucking fuse if you fight back. But yeah, sometime along Prime, after Prime, whatever. I got sick of it, okay? I got sick of it because I remember asking them, my manager, not my manager, my supervisor at the time, and my and this guy that was on quality, let's call my manager, not manager, damn it. Let's call my supervisor H. All right? H. And this dude on quality, let's call him D. I talked to D, not that kind of D, by the way, about me being interested in positions. I wanted to be either a PG, processing assistant, or I wanted to be on quality, okay? And I specifically told them if any positions come open, I'd be willing to do it. You know, I'm willing to. I don't mind working for something if it's guaranteed that I'm going to get that position. If it's guaranteed that my hard work will pay off. But let me tell you something. Ew, my beauty blender. Oops. In the corporate world, nothing is guaranteed. But they expect your loyalty to be guaranteed. Okay? BS. Utter BS. My skin looks like shit. God damn it. Anyway, guys, we're getting off topic. I got fed up with it. I had made friends with this coworker who she was on Flex, right? And that immediately intrigued me from the start because, oh my god, freedom. Slave minds. But anyway, yeah, I asked her about the details. I asked her constantly. I was like, okay, what is it like? What do I have to do to apply for it? What do I expect? And she was like, it is a heaven on earth, especially for a minority. Black woman hair. It offered everything that I wanted. She told me that, you aren't going to get as much money. You're not, okay? But do I give a damn? Of course not. I don't care about the money. I can work as many shifts as I want on my own time. Why the fuck was that? So that wasn't a concern for me. So I applied. I got denied like 3 or 4 times, I remember. But I was persistent because ain't no way I'm gonna turn up this opportunity. And it's like I may as well, because why the hell would I? If I'm gonna work myself to the ground in this toxic environment, I may as well do it on my terms. That makes sense to you, that makes sense to me. I don't know who else that don't make sense to, because it makes nothing but sense. Anyway, yeah, long story short, that chick that was on Flex, she got in a fight with the manager, with the new, I don't want to say new, I don't know, whatever. There was a new supervisor at in our department. And I was like, a lot of people didn't like him, and I wish I would have listened back then. But, I'd rather get the feel myself. He seemed like a good guy, kind of like, not soft-spoken, but not someone who's confrontational. And although that's not always a bad thing, it can be. Okay, it can be. Because if a problem arises, you're not going to want to deal with it because you're not confrontational. And that's something I can kind of emphasize with that, okay? Whoa. But after some time, I just, I started noticing patterns of behavior. And it started with the day that chick got in a fight with him. So, to be rather blunt, this white chick, I forgot her name. I forgot her name, whatever. She always loved to put a target on this black chick's back, right? What was her name? I'll just call her V. Hope I don't forget what all these letters stand for. Whatever. She there was this point system that we needed to this rate we needed to maintain in my department. And look, no one really made a big deal about it at all, especially when you couldn't control it and it was slow as hell back there. So it's something that even I started to notice. I didn't believe her at first, but then she started getting messages on her scanner about what her rate should be. and it could borderline be classified as harassment. And I was like, okay, you're getting these messages back to back, whether you're meeting your rate or not. And I noticed that she was the only one getting these messages. And then when she called it out to the supervisor, he was kind of blasé about it. He didn't do shit about it. And this white woman she was really small and thin, petite by the way. So it makes sense why she didn't confront this black chick directly. That's kind of a compliment to me because it means that you're too much of a coward to confront me. But whatever. Yeah, after she brought it to his attention, the supervisor, I noticed that all of a sudden, everyone started getting messages about their rate, okay? But here's the sketchy part. On the days that this chick wasn't here, all of a sudden we stopped getting messages. I was like, okay, maybe this is a coincidence, but it kept happening. So I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but she must have got angry at this supervisor for not speaking up and confronting her about it, even though we had proof. And so she kind of just went the hell off on him. She threw a scanner at his head. She threw a scanner at his head twice. I saw the first one hit. I was like, damn. Then I carried my black ass to the back because I was not about to be a witness and I ain't got shit to do with this. But anyway, I was like, damn, poor girl. I hate myself for saying this, but I'm done, by the way. It feels nice. Anyway, she got fired. I know he was embarrassed after that. And at this point, I still didn't believe them. I just thought it was a case of, okay, he just doesn't like confrontations, which I get. And guess what happened after that? Things took a turn for the worse. Things kept getting worse and worse. Okay, so look, guys, I have the memory of a goldfish, so I'm not sure what happened after that. I know I stayed out of his way. But yeah, let's skip forward to when I finally got approved for Flex. Now guys, look, this is gonna grind your gears. So when I got approved for my Flex schedule, I was excited as hell. And I didn't even really know at first because they rejected me like 2 or 3 times. So I was like, I wasn't waiting on them. But I just kind of found out. They were like, congratulations. I'm like, oh my God. So I didn't tell anyone. I think I told a few people, but for the most part, nobody knew. I was so excited. And my new schedule started on October 1st. The first day of... My eyes look like shit. Anyway, the first day of October, okay? I didn't tell anyone. But, soon after that, y'all cannot tell me this. Y'all can't say this was a coincidence. Because it wasn't. They had called everyone to start up, I think a couple or a few weeks later, to tell everyone that they were getting $1 raise. Everyone on RT was getting $1 raise. And they were like, oh, but if you're on Flex, you don't get it. And I was like, that feels strangely directed at me. Oh my God. I don't give a fuck. But anyway, I didn't care. I didn't care because I still had something that they didn't, and that is freedom. That's worth more than all the money in the world, okay? Let me classify that. And I thought it was a coincidence until they told everyone when this raise would be going into effect. Stay with me now. It was going into effect. You guessed it, October 1st. I was like, hell no. No, I know y'all. This is petty. Okay, I wasn't even angry because that is a whole nother level of... I still didn't care. I found it more funny than anything. So childish. So, when I got approved, whatever. We skipped forward to when my Flex schedule took effect. I didn't fully understand it at first. I thought that meant I could only work a maximum of 4 hours per shift. So that's the only amount of hours I did in the beginning. And people still didn't know I was on Flex at that point. They thought I was just using up my PTO and my UPT. I was like, yeah, huh? I don't care. But they found out eventually, right? And I was like, what you gonna do when they come Ow. They found out, right? And once I realized that you had to pick up shifts in fragments, like a full shift is from 6 to 4:30. So if I want to do a full shift, I had to pick up like 6 to 10, 10:30 to 2:15, and 2:45 to 4:30. And I was like, okay, bet, because that means I can just do fractions all week. I can work whenever I want. This is so nice. Even though I could just work 4 hours on Sunday and skip the rest of the week. Nothing would be held against me. I wish I would have done that, but I like money too much. So I just fucking dealt with it. Not much changed. It's just I had the leverage. I had the freedom. If anything went wrong, I could just cancel a shift just like that. I loved it, man. And I loved how irritated it made people because they never knew when I was going to leave. Considering I was the person who did everyone's work, it was funny whenever I mostly left either I either did the full shift or I left at 2:15 because I live a little far away, so I can't afford to get off at 10 o'clock at night every time. Every time I would leave, they would look at me like, "You coming back?" I was like, "What do you think?" That was fun. Leaving them high and dry to suffer. My screen keep going dark. I'm sorry. I have to tap it. But I love leaving them high and dry because it's like you're not about to rely on me to do everyone's work, and I don't even you promote everyone except me. Which brings me back to something else that started pissing me off. So more people started leaving, right? They started leaving. And me, I didn't give a damn because I was still on flex. I still had the freedom to leave if y'all pissed me off, if things got too hard. Had my full schedule lined up. Somebody said something that pissed me off. I'd be like, bet. Click. I think I have the right to be petty after how I was treated. But anyway, yeah. Fast forward, new hires come in. Lots of petite, young, light-skinned new hires. And you guys know where this is going. You know, especially if you're a black bitch like me. You know what's coming. So yeah. Unsurprisingly, after these new bitches started coming in, here comes the thirsty ass PAs, managers, and supervisors thirsting over them like they fucking cats in heat, You know how cats are when they're in heat, they're just they make you so uncomfortable. They will literally have their ass in your face, okay? That's how these niggas were acting. And I was like, how surprising. And it didn't matter how lazy they were. It didn't freaking matter because they had me. Let's just overwork the 2 to 3 actual good workers we have while we just sit around at the front desk and flirt with these motherfuckers all night. They felt no regard whatsoever towards me. They didn't feel anything. Nothing. And that I just felt that anger seething inside of me every time I went there. But I'm fast forwarding from all that to when they finally made me a fucking PG, which means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. They only made me a PG because they were desperate and they didn't have anyone else. And they been known that I wanted to be a PG. They already knew. But yeah.
Anyway, I started recognizing patterns of favoritism, which, I mean, come on, any woman, let alone a worker. This is for all the female workers, okay? We are no stranger to work favoritism, especially if it's always over the next bitch who's, shaped like a fucking 8-year-old, has light skin, a very petite figure, and they're barely legal. That's who men go after, okay? Because they're pedos. It's no secret to anyone. I don't give a fuck who tries to defend it. It's the truth. But yeah, anyway, surprise, surprise. New workers come in. Mr. What was his alias? I forgot. Whatever. Nigga that flirt with everybody within a 5-mile radius. Let's call him A. That's who we'll call him. That's his alias, A. If you know, you know. But yeah, anyone can see how his ass was hanging around a little bit 24/7 like a desperate dogging heat. All up on her. Huffing and puffing and panting like it's the first time they've seen a bitch. Yeah, so, imagine my surprise when next thing we know, she's at the front fucking desk. And she'd been there, I don't know how long, a few months, a couple months, I don't know. But that shit is not fair, okay? Because when it comes to employees that are clearly more qualified, more experienced, it's like you ask them for any little thing, whether it's training, an opportunity to learn, or get promoted. And they always feed you this bullshit like, oh, I'm afraid we don't have resources available. Oh, we'll get back to you. They won't, by the way. Just letting you know. But it's like somehow, within the course of a couple months, they're able to promote these young women that have zero experience, zero common sense. No. That shit is not fair and everybody sees it, okay? You're not protected. These niggas can't do shit for you. I always warn, and look, guys, look for a second. I do not blame the women, okay? It's the men I blame. Because as a woman, people don't really hire you for your capabilities. They hire you because they expect you to be compliant. They expect you to worship the ground they stand on. They think they have a chance with you. That's the only reason that men will promote women in the workplace. My old supervisor did it at one of my first jobs I've ever worked at, or the first warehouse I've ever worked at. I got PTSD. Okay, beside the point. But yeah, everyone saw it. Everyone saw it. And everyone was afraid to speak up, but I wasn't, because I call bullshit. And look, y'all, I don't know if this was before that or after, but at some point, a friend of mine, former co-worker, had, both of us had struggled like hell while these little motherfuckers sat at the front desk all night, not doing shit but listening to music, snacking and flirting with each other. Y'all don't see shit wrong with that, do you? But when someone go the fuck off because you've been making them do everybody work and theirs for months. Oh, we retaliate. Now we're the problem. Go fuck yourself. Exploitation, that's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? Exploitation. Now where the was I? So this chick and I, even though I, asked about that position, possible training with quality or as a PG, which I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't setting myself up for fucking failure. But yeah, she came to me one day. And look, guys, before this, their excuse to me before was, oh, you're on flex. We can't do it now. And I was like, what about the 6+ months I was here and proved myself? What about then? What about then? When I wasn't on flex and y'all were working the shit out of me and promoting everybody who contributed nothing. What about then? Motherfucker. What about then? But I was like, I see how it is. Fuck you then. So I'm just sitting there enjoying my freedom. Oh my god, my fucking hair. Y'all ignore that. It is what it is. But yeah, she, a friend of mine came to me and told me she spoke with this bitch-ass supervisor and said, oh, guess what? I asked them, I'm tired of being the PG because they overwork me. Welcome to the fucking club. Anyway, she said he told her, okay, we'll put you on quality. Just like that. Just like, I was like, calm down, bitch. Anyway, she told me they would put her on quality only if she found a replacement for her current position. Normally, I would have jumped at the chance, but I was fucking done by then. I was fucking done. And I was like, okay, good luck with that. And she recommended me. I'm like, oh, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. Can't possibly do that. I'm on flex, remember? They passed me up for you and everyone else, so why the fuck do they want me now? Because they don't have a fucking choice. They're so short back there. People at the desk are too lazy to get their black asses on the floor themselves, so of course they turn to me. And guys, I didn't want to accept it. I didn't. But I had to think about this long term. I was like, okay, maybe I can turn and use it to my advantage. Use it to gain free leverage, even if you don't like to. Pretend to be ignorant. Pretend to be grateful for it. Even though they knew damn well. They knew damn well. You know what ticked me off the most, though? It's the fact that she told me, when I told her why I was ineligible to be on a PG, she told me, oh, well, he told me it don't matter if you want flex. I'm just sitting here like, you must be truly desperate to come to me for help. Loki reference. 1010 would smack. Y'all must be fucked if you pulling this shit. Breaking the rules, bending the rules when you need it. But God fucking forbid if one of your employees needs it. I couldn't believe it. I wanted to fuck him up. And not in a good way. Because how you gonna pull this shit when you constantly keep coming up with excuses as to why you can't hire me? It's one thing if someone else is more qualified, okay? I understand that. I'm not that dense. But to purposely pass people off just because you'd rather have a light-skinned bitch that you trying to fuck is dense as hell. And I hope you all rot in a... You know what? Calm down. I'm not there anymore. Thank God. Anyway, whatever. Long story short, they promoted me. And I was like, biggest mistake of my life. And they put me, when they started off in palletized, in the 30s lanes, whatever. Barely have a memory of what the motherfuckers are called. But yeah, you know, they mostly put me in lane 2. They put me on lanes 18, 19, 20, and 21. And y'all, when I tell you these were the lanes that were directly in front of the fucking desk, I swear on God, they did that shit intentionally. They did that on purpose. Because now I gotta look at y'all. I gotta hear y'all all night. As a reminder that being a good worker gets you nothing but more work. And I was there 2 years. So it's like, okay. I knew I had it good there, though, because I was still on flex. Guys, I hated it. Okay? I was just so angry with this toxic workplace. This toxic corporate culture, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I got sick of it. And yeah, I shouldn't have did what I did, but I don't regret a goddamn thing. So I'm going to skip forward to the first thing that got me I don't even know if it got me a write-up. So I posted something on the, posted a message. I wrote a post on the app's internal forum thingamajiggy, whatever, called My Voice. And, well, what happens when you actually say what you mean while making a valid point that calls out people without calling them out? They get mad, delete it, and confront me about it. I remember this one OM manager, I don't know, white guy. He came to me and said, if there's anything I can help you with, is there anything I can do for you? Because I saw your post, and I was just like, I'll cut you off right there, motherfucker. Because if you read my post, then you know what has to be done, okay? I ain't got nothing else to say. If you ask me what you can do, I'm going to tell you to politely go to hell. Respectfully, okay? Can't get mad at you if it's respectfully. But yeah, it really does show, this type of toxic culture really does show their true colors. But joke's on them, because I got sick of it to the point where I just went ahead and transferred the hell out. I carried my black ass to PAC, where I'm not gonna go to team. They offered me so many more. I was only up there a month, okay? But a couple days after I went up there, I was like, okay, this is nice, this is easy. And then I went on, I saw that, well, Flex was gone, as I was told. But when I went up there and looked for other places to transfer to, because what I planned on doing was getting permission for every fucking department out there. I was in ShipDoc. I had transferred to PAC so I could get permissions to work there. And then I planned on going to, PAC Flow. I was in PAC Single Battle. So I was like, I just wanted to keep doing it. I wanted to keep pushing it. So I was naturally, after my 30 days were up, I was looking for things to, the next place I wanted to, swap to. And I saw they had Flex available up there. Again, I was like, holy shit. Well, you just know. You know what I did? I put in a request again. Because now I can pick up shifts for ShipDoc and PAC. So, again, after a while, I was going to transfer to another thing. You have to make use of your resources. You gotta be smart about this. Exploit the choices they give you. They do this shit with us, we may as well do it back. I don't know why they play dirty with people like us and get mad when a motherfucker want to play dirty back. Y'all weak as hell at that point. Weak. Weaker than your fucking mama. So, while I was in PAC for a month, this Caucasian manager, he saw my hard work ethic, and he immediately started getting me trained in AFV, Slam Deck. What's that other place called? I can't remember. Whatever. He wanted to get me trained everywhere because he saw I had he saw I had a hard work ethic and that I was willing to learn. Something that people in my previous department already knew, but since I wasn't their ideal girl, they wanted to exploit and try to fuck. Then they were like, nah, we'll pass. That's all it boils down to. But I was like, let me take this opportunity. Zip! Boom. But, when I was in PAC, something else that ticked me off is, I didn't realize they would send what I did, but still. They started sending me back down there to Shipdock because they were always short. Go fucking figure. I wonder why. But the first time they sent me back down there, it was quiet as fuck. The machines weren't turned down. They had like a maximum of 5 people there. I was like, okay, everyone must be late, but no, that's it. They couldn't even afford to put people, everyone was gone. They couldn't even afford to put people on individual, every other lane. They couldn't even afford to do that. Everyone had to be on DCM or COSTAR. I was like, wow, everything fell apart while I was gone. How surprising. They were so short back there. They had PGs, PAs, supervisors, managers, OMs, everyone on the floor. I don't know how long this lasted, but it sure as fuck felt delicious. Even this one chick who acted like she had Stockholm syndrome. It's like a slave who's in love with their slaver. That's how she was. Even she moved. I was like, this is fucking, this don't make no sense. If she left, now you know damn well. And the fact that this all happened within a month of me leaving, I'm like, okay, this gotta be a coincidence. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I held this motherfucker up. Okay? Y'all deal with the consequences of your own actions. And this motherfucker A, guess what? Every time I went up there, they specifically would call me from PAC because they needed help. But every time I went up there, I saw A up there alone. Didn't have his little light-skinned bitches up there or his homeboys with him. Because they were all on the floor doing slave work like how y'all did me. He was up there alone. They took his bitch they took her from her position that she apparently worked for. I'm sure she did work for it. But yeah, I'm starting to realize that's probably why people were telling me that he was pissed off at me. And I'm like, really? A guy hating on a bitch is just top tier, okay? It is a fucking compliment to me. Because it proves that you really are a bitch. You're a pathetic little bitch with a fragile ego. And it's like, I didn't snitch on nobody because I figured, okay, if Shipdog is like this, it's probably like this everywhere else to an extent. But it's worse back there. It's worse. So, yeah, I found out through another person that they took her off her post, and that's probably why he was mad at me. But, oh, fucking well, that proves that you weren't doing something you were supposed to be doing. I was told by a friend of mine on the other RT shift that she wasn't working, so they had a new white guy on quality who removed it. And look, that's the ironic thing, right? That's the ironic thing. I'm gonna say something that's gonna trigger a lot of motherfuckers, but I don't give a fuck because it's true. No amount of racism from a white person could ever make me unsee the amount of racism and colorism that is within our own people. And it's like, y'all never want to fucking acknowledge this. Y'all want to play the victim. White people this, white people that. The only people that have ever been racist towards me were other black people. That's why I don't sympathize with them when shit happens. Like when they get shot by cops or when they get treated like me. And it's like, other black people are treating me like this. The only other people that tried to desperately, genuinely help me advance in that place was that Caucasian manager and this on the other RT shift, the one that was the weekend shift. I don't know his name was, why did I almost say his name? Whatever, he was, I don't know. Was he Asian? No, Puerto Rican? Mexican? I don't know. But yeah, he said he wanted to help me, and I was like, I appreciate it, but I doubt you can. And if I come back to RT Chef, I'll be at their mercy again. And it's like, there's no guarantee that they're going to promote me. It doesn't matter if you put in a good word for you. I appreciate it, but I don't think, it's not you, it's them. I don't trust them. I don't trust nobody. They all full of shit. So it's like, bro, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna just keep my black ass where I am right now on Flex. Where I have freedom, stability, power. If they want to promote me, they know where to find me. It's like they want me to come back on RT so I can prove myself. Bitch, I've been here over 2 years. You know damn well what I'm capable of. You just want to exploit my fucking work ethic again. So I was like, hell no, I ain't coming back. I ain't coming back, yeah. You're getting snippets of me left and right, but that's it. So eventually, I got fed up again, okay? Because, yeah, seeing that shit happening from my face made me mad. So I put one more post on my voice, and, yeah, I was suspended for that. Don't regret a goddamn thing. They sent me to HR to talk about it, and I explained everything leading up to that moment. But of course, you know, they don't give a damn. If they do you wrong, if the company does you wrong, they are not gonna fix the problem. They're not gonna try to fix it. They're just gonna be like, oh, since you got pushed to the limit, since this is all your fault. Oh, they triggered you, they exploited you, they used you, they overworked you. Okay, let's get rid of you. Okay, and the final thing this bitch told to me was, we're not gonna let you go. Bullshit. I knew it was coming. I just played along because it was like I was being interrogated. I was like, just do it. Just fucking do it. I don't give a fuck anymore. I really don't. I explained my damn self. I told y'all it was nothing serious, okay? I was just stressed out, as I'm always stressed out. But yeah, they suspended me. They didn't give me a set date. I thought I was going to be suspended for like about 2 weeks. But they didn't give me a set date. They just said, we're going to call you. And then they never called me. And this chick, she paid for a Lyft driver. And I was like, hey, that's nice. But I feel like you're just doing this because you know I'm not coming back. And I was fucking right. It's like, yeah, I was a little aggressive about what I put. But did I lie? Did I lie? And people agree with me. They always do. So what does that say about you? So anyway, here I am 4 months later, still fucking unemployed. And they prevented me from even being able to get unemployment benefits. So, you know, thankfully I have people living with me that are helping me. And I'm going to get back at these people. I'm going to get back at them. I do not let people double cross me like that. But yeah, I'm in the process of getting a new job. And I have a car now, thankfully. So yeah, hopefully things get better from here on out. I'm sorry this video is so long. I'm also sorry that the second half of the video is, my voice is faster and higher pitch. I tried to speed the video along because I created this on Instagram Reels, and I wanted to speed it up so I can prevent it from being long, but, you know, oh well. Anyway, nice talking to you guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye!